In stunning and developing news coming out of WWE SmackDown, the situation within the Bloodline has reached a boiling point, and the tension brewing inside the once dominant Samoan dynasty seems to be spiraling out of control in ways nobody could have predicted. Last week's shocking ambush on Jacob Fatu, orchestrated in brutal fashion by Drew McIntyre, has not only left Fatu physically broken and fighting to recover from serious injuries, but has also exposed deep fractures and uncertainty within the Bloodline itself. The attack was violent, sudden, and calculated, sending a message that rivalries inside WWE have evolved far beyond championship battles and have now turned deeply personal. Drew McIntyre, driven by vengeance and bitterness, unleashed a level of aggression that even the Bloodline wasn't prepared to counter. His rage, fueled by weeks of frustration, spilled out in a way that sent shockwaves across WWE. It was more than a fight, it was a declaration of war, and Jacob Fatu became the first major casualty. Tonight, in a moment exclusive to cameras and hidden from the live WWE audience, tensions escalated outside a private medical facility. The atmosphere was quiet yet heavy, like the calm before a tornado. Security tried to keep prying eyes away, but the truth couldn't stay hidden. Jimmy USO was spotted making his way into the hospital late in the night, his arrival captured by cameras that were determined to uncover what really goes on behind the scenes of the Bloodline's chaos. Jimmy didn't arrive with his usual swagger or trademark USO energy. Instead, he moved with caution, constantly checking over his shoulder as if being followed, as though someone within his own circle might be watching him. There was a look of emotional weight on his face, part concern, part anxiety, maybe even guilt. Fans around the world are already asking what many inside WWE have been whispering. Why was Jimmy there alone? Why has Roman Reigns been silent? And where was Solo Sikoa, the self-proclaimed new tribal chief holding together what remains of the Bloodline's power? The deeper Jimmy walked into the hospital, the more it became clear that this wasn't just a friendly visit. This was a moment layered with complexity, silent questions, and unspoken history. As Jimmy approached Jacob Fatu's room, he paused outside the door for several seconds, taking a deep breath before entering, almost as if he had to prepare himself for what he was about to see. When he walked in, the sight was shocking. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf and feared powerhouse of the Bloodline, lay battered and covered in bandages. The man who usually dominated opponents with raw destruction was now hooked to monitors, his ribs taped, bruises scattered across his body, and his breathing heavy. Just last week, Fatu was a monster in the ring, destroying anyone who crossed his path. But Drew McIntyre's savage assault changed everything. Seeing him like this sent a wave of emotion through the WWE Universe. Jimmy stood beside Fatu's bed, staring down with a storm of emotions flickering in his eyes. Was it anger? Was it fear? Was it loyalty? Or was it the realization that the Bloodline's enemies are now more united and more dangerous than ever? Fans watching this moment online immediately noticed something important. Jimmy didn't look just concerned. He looked conflicted. And that raises a burning question. Is Jimmy acting out of respect and brotherhood, or is this part of a bigger plan? Because nothing happens in the Bloodline without purpose. Jimmy knows that too well. After months of betrayal, manipulation, shifting alliances, and unexpected power moves, trust has become a rare commodity within the group. Ever since Roman Reigns stepped away and Solo Sikoa assumed leadership, Jimmy has been caught in a shadowed position, neither trusted fully nor discarded completely. Solo claims dominance, controls decisions, and demands obedience. But Jimmy has always had a mind of his own, and tonight's actions only deepen the mystery around him. The truth is, WWE fans know Jimmy USO better than he thinks. His history shows he doesn't move unless there's a reason. So was this hospital visit a personal mission of loyalty to Fatu, or a power move behind Solo Sikoa's back? The Bloodline has survived betrayal before, from Jey USO walking out, from Roman manipulating his own family, from Sami Zayn's rebellion, but this feels different. This time, the threat isn't coming from inside. It's coming from outside, in the form of a Scottish Terminator named Drew McIntyre, who is hunting blood. And now, for the first time in a long time, the bloodline looks vulnerable. Jimmy leaned forward near Jacob's bedside and spoke quietly. We couldn't hear the words, but his face said enough. He looked frustrated, agitated, and weighed down by pressure. It was a rare moment of honesty, a glance behind the mask of bravado that wrestlers carry. For a man who's been betrayed, who's been blamed, who's been pushed aside, this moment looked personal. Maybe he feels responsible. Maybe he feels like he has something to prove. Maybe deep down, despite all the chaos, Jimmy still believes in family. But here's where things get even more complicated. Solo Sikoa has been the one commanding the bloodline's direction lately. He made the call to focus on power and dominance rather than family and loyalty. He has been merciless in enforcing discipline. So, why wasn't Solo at the hospital? Why wasn't he checking on Fatu himself? If Jacob Fatu is one of Solo's warriors, shouldn't he be there? Was Solo even aware of Jimmy's visit? And if he wasn't, how will he react when he finds out? These questions spark a dark possibility. Is this the beginning of a power shift inside the bloodline? Could there be a civil war coming, not over championships, but over respect and leadership? Jimmy USO may have been sidelined in recent weeks, but that doesn't mean he's weak. If anything, Jimmy is unpredictable, and unpredictable is dangerous. He could be planning something. He could be building alliances. He could be stepping up, not just for Jacob Fatu, but for the soul of the bloodline. And just as importantly, Drew McIntyre's attack has now pulled Jimmy into the fight whether he likes it or not. Drew has made his move. He is targeting anyone connected to the bloodline. And tonight showed that Jimmy is now officially involved. So, what happens now? Will Jimmy USO be the one to lead the counterattack and bring vengeance to Drew McIntyre? Will he pick up the fight that Solo Sikoa failed to control? Or will this lead to another explosion inside the bloodline where Jimmy and Solo clash once again, not as brothers, but as enemies? Tonight raises more questions than answers. But what is certain is this: the war between Drew McIntyre and the bloodline is far from over. It has only just begun. Every action Jimmy takes now changes everything. Every decision he makes could decide the future of WWE's most dominant faction. And whatever comes next, it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be peaceful. It's going to be war in its rawest form. Personal, savage, and unforgettable. Stay locked in because this story is about to explode. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more WWE updates, exclusive coverage, dramatic breakdowns, and everything happening behind the scenes in this unfolding bloodline saga. The moment Jimmy USO left Jacob Fatu's hospital room, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife, the weight of the last week's chaos pressing down on him as though the walls themselves were judging his every move, the rage and